On your nervous system regulation and somatic healing journey, recovering from chronic pain and anxiety and panic might feel like a journey where you want to have a support group. But I'm here to tell you that there's some support groups that can make you way worse. And I'm going to show you in this video how you can quickly realize if you're in a support group that's actually a junkyard, and that rust from the support group is going to get in your gears and slow your ride, slow down your truck, mess up your transmission, and give you rust on your journey. It's just going to slow you down. Instead of that, I'm going to offer alternatives, whether it's a group or it's finding a few people along the way who are supportive and who understand what you're going through. I did both. So at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you specifically about a couple of things that I did. But first, I'm going to go into why your support group might be actually the opposite of a support group. It might be creating conditions where you're going to spin your wheels or you're going to get worse. And that's not what I want for you. I'm Healing Wolf, a professional chronic pain, anxiety, trauma, panic attack, and neuroplastic sensation recovery coach. I work with clients to communicate directly with their unconscious mind and get them better fast, to sail across that ocean of recovery and get home to a regulated nervous system, to a balanced and vibrant life. So, why do I say some support groups can make you worse? And this type of support group is very common on Facebook. Let's, for example, look at a fibromyalgia support group. I've been in a few, been kicked out of a few when I suggest that they could actually get better, because those support groups are there for complaining. A lot of the people in the group want to have this fatalistic attitude and defend the fact that their pain is going to last forever. They ask questions in the group like, what's the worst thing about fibromyalgia? Or in an anxiety group, what's the worst thing about anxiety? And they'll complain and complain and complain. And what that does to someone who's really on a recovery journey like you are is to set your mind in a negative perspective, so that you start to see your journey as worse than it is, as harder than it is. These kind of, even people in support groups that are healthy, like TMS support group or Mindbody support groups that are actually based on theories and ideas that really work, even people in there will complain, and then somebody else will show up and say, I'm so sorry you're going through this. When you say, I'm so sorry you're going through this, someone hears that. They post, I'm struggling, my chronic pain is a 10 out of 20. I mean, a 20 out of 10, and I can't even make it. And then somebody said, I'm so sorry you're going through this. What do you think that message that sends to your unconscious mind? It sends a message that is worse than you even thought. Instead, you want to be in support groups. You want to hear people say things when you say, I'm working on my mindset and I'm struggling with catastrophizing. Can somebody give me a tip? And then someone will chime in and give you a strategic tip of how to get better. But you don't want to be in a group where the people in the group are focused on what's wrong, are focused on a disease diagnosis, which in many cases is not even a diagnosis. It's just a medical code so that the doctor can get paid. So some of these conditions, they aren't even real conditions. There's no way for them to run a test and say you have that condition. It's just based on observations. Well, I have a lot of pain. Oh, you must have CRPS. Oh, my pain is all over my body. Oh, you must have fibromyalgia. So then you go online, go to this support group, and you get anything but support. You get a lot of people who are bitching and moaning. They're saying, oh, this is horrible. My life is over. Oh, my life is falling apart. I'm never going to work again. Never going to go for a bike ride, this and that. And then other people chime in. Oh, yeah, it sucks. It sucks. And then you get this big storm of suck. Everybody's saying it sucks. that's not the group for you. That's a bad place to be. That's like going out in a boat parade with all the boats that are broken and they're drilling holes in the bottom of the boat. All the boats are sinking. Do you want to be in that boat parade? I don't think so. You get out of that boat parade and you get out of that junkyard. If you go in the junkyard with all these people with their junky ideas and their junky negativity, and you get in there with them and you have a big pity party, how do you think you're going to feel? You're going to feel worse. You want to be around people who either are recovering or have recovered, and they can give you a nudge and a lift up and say, yeah, I know where you are. I know what you're going through. You're at the resistance stage. You don't think you're going to get better. You're spiraling into catastrophic thinking. Guess what? You can laugh at that because you're going to get better. So that's the kind of support group you want. I have one. It's called the Healing Den. It's a small private community where you can go to get support. I'm there. I read the comments. There are other people there who I know and have vetted. And there are some other amazing coaches who've authored great books on the subject, coaches from around the world. There are people there who want you to get better. And they're operating from neuroplastic recovery perspectives. So the perspective is that you've learned some pain or you've learned some anxiety and it's gotten worse, and you're at the point now where you can begin to do the work to regulate your nervous system, get better, feel better, and move forward. There are even groups that you can pay to go and be in, and I was in one of those groups, and you'll see when you're in those groups, I was in a couple of those groups. When you're in those groups, the coach that runs the group is going to be strict. Is going to say, we're not here to talk about sensations. We're not here to complain. We're not here to have a pity party. We're here to encourage each other. We're going to talk about wins. We're going to talk about strategies that worked. We're going to talk about overcoming fear. We're going to say to someone in the group who got an invitation to go swimming in the ocean and they're afraid because they've been experiencing fatigue, we're going to say to that person, hey, maybe it'll turn out better than you thought because I did the same thing 6 months ago and here I am now going on a vacation. You want that examples, you want friends on the journey, and that supportive atmosphere can really accelerate your recovery. So before I tell you a little bit more about the kind of balance I achieved on my journey with this kind of thing, I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, ring the bell so when you'll know when new videos come out. Okay, so in my case, I was fortunate enough to stumble into a group, and I think there was a Facebook group that was about Mindbody, and I forget what it was. It may have been TMS, the Sarno approach, and there was a young man there who had a group, and I got in that group, and it was helpful. And in that group, we were all focused on pretty much on Alan Gordon's book, The Way Out, which was amazing. I befriended that young man who was on the journey as well, and he was a little bit ahead of me. So we became brothers on the journey and helped each other, and that was amazing too. So you could find groups, you can subscribe to a group, a professional group that's all about recovery and zero negativity, zero complaining. Those kind of groups are worth every penny because you're going to get in that group and really heal and accelerate your healing. I'm actually working on a program called the Healing Odyssey, which will be a video series and a group related to that video series. And it's going to be moving you on an adventure on a hero's odyssey of recovery. That's not out yet, but if you'd like to hear about it in the future, head to my website and join my newsletter list. You'll also get a free somatic meditation. But right now, what you can do is head over to Facebook and join the Healing Den. That's my group, and I'll make sure that it's a safe and supportive space. It's not huge, but it's building rapidly, and I'm watching to see how the dynamic grows and make sure that if there are any people who refuse to follow this mindset path and who want to turn it into another type of group, well, they're going to be out. They can go back to the junkyard, get in the boat parade and drill holes in their boat all they want. but we are going to recover, and we're going to recover together. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, I coach private clients on Zoom. So you can head to my website, healingwolfcoaching.com. And when you're ready, book a consult call, because we'll get right into it. You're going to tell me what's going on. We're going to talk about it. We're going to figure out exactly what you want and how we're going to get you there. And we'll get you on my calendar. So I appreciate you watching this video. I've got more videos here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I told you to subscribe, but if you haven't yet, do so now. I'll see you in the next video. Keep going and keep your mind moving in a direction of where you want to be.